How long, Lord, will you let this go on? How long will the corrupt go unpunished, while the righteous struggle in the darkness? These words are more than just a question. They are the cry of every heart that has ever felt forsaken. They are the cry of David, a man who knew God intimately, but found himself in a season of deep despair and confusion. How many of us have asked the same question? How many of us have felt the weight of injustice pressing down, wondering why God hasn't intervened yet? Perhaps today you're struggling with the same thoughts, battling the overwhelming weight of a world that seems to be getting worse. You see the injustice around you, the corruption in the hearts of men, and you wonder, where is God in all of this? Is he listening? Is he watching? You are not alone in your struggle. David's words in Psalm 14 are a mirror to our souls, a reminder that we are not the first to feel this pain, nor will we be the last. In this powerful psalm, David speaks about a world full of corruption, where people have turned away from God and embraced wickedness. And in the midst of this, he cries out to God, asking, "How long, Lord, will you forget me?" Welcome to Daily Prayer, your moment to breathe, reflect, and reconnect with God. Psalm 14 begins with the stark reality of a world in chaos. The fool says in his heart, "There is no God." David's words speak to a society that has turned its back on God, where evil seems to reign, and the righteous are left to suffer. But in this very lament, David gives us something powerful, the assurance that God is watching, and his justice will come. As you listen to these words, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt like David, wondering when God will intervene? Have you ever questioned how much longer you can endure the weight of injustice in your life, whether it's in the world around you or in your personal struggles? It's easy to feel forgotten by God, but David's cry isn't just a question. It's an invitation to bring our pain before God, to be honest with him, and to trust that he will act. Psalm 14 is not just a reminder of the world's corruption. It's a declaration that God is aware of everything that's happening. He is not blind to our suffering. In fact, he is preparing a time when his justice will prevail, when the wicked will be brought to account, and the righteous will rejoice. Today, as we explore this psalm, let us remember that we don't need to hide our pain or doubts from God. We can bring them to him honestly, knowing that he is not distant, but very much present. And in the end, his justice will prevail. His salvation will come. Take a moment now to ask yourself, where in your life do you feel the weight of corruption, injustice, or unanswered prayers? What burdens are you carrying that feel too heavy to bear? Know that God sees you, and he hears your cry. Even when the world feels out of control, his eyes are upon you. Let's dive deeper into this psalm, where David's lament turns into a powerful declaration of God's faithfulness. Though the world may seem dark, today's Opie, God's justice is coming, and we can find peace knowing that he is watching over us. David paints a bleak picture of humanity in Psalm 14. He speaks of people who have turned away from God, and in doing so, they have become corrupt. Their hearts are filled with sin, and they have abandoned the path of righteousness. David writes, "They are all corrupt. Their deeds are vile. There is no one who does good, not even one." These words are powerful, and they cut to the heart of the problem. David, isn't he simply talking about a few bad apples? He is describing the condition of humanity as a whole. We live in a world where sin has taken root in the hearts of many. We see it in the selfishness, the greed, the hatred, and the injustice that surrounds us. And it's easy to feel discouraged, to believe that the world is beyond repair. But David's words are not just an observation. They are a call to action. He goes on to say, "The Lord looks down from heaven on the children of men to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God." Despite the corruption, God is watching. He sees what's happening. He knows the hearts of men. And while it may feel like evil is winning, God has not abandoned us. As you reflect on these words, think about the world around you. Where do you see corruption? Where do you see injustice, hatred, or deceit? Perhaps you've been personally affected by the actions of others, or maybe you've witnessed the suffering of the innocent. It's easy to feel helpless, to believe that nothing can change. But David reminds us that God sees it all. He's watching, and he's not indifferent to the suffering of his people. David continues, "They are all corrupt. They have all turned aside. Together they have become corrupt." This verse speaks to the idea that sin is not just an individual issue. It is a societal issue. We live in a world where corruption is woven into the fabric of society. It affects every aspect of our lives, from our relationships, to our governments, to our communities, and it's easy to feel like we're fighting an uphill battle. But David's words offer us hope. He writes, "God is with the generation of the righteous." Despite the corruption in the world, God is with his people. He is present in the midst of the darkness, and his presence is a source of hope and strength. No matter how bad things may seem, God has not abandoned his people. As you reflect on this truth, take a moment to consider your own life. Where do you see the effects of corruption in your own heart? Where have you allowed sin to take root? We all fall short, but the good news is that God is with us. He sees our struggles, and he is here to help us overcome them. Even in the midst of a broken world, God's grace is available to us. David's cry is not just one of despair. It is also a cry of hope. He knows that God will not leave his people in the darkness. Ik knows that, in the end, God's justice will prevail. He trusts that God will bring an end to the corruption and restore his people. Think about the areas of your life where you need God's justice to intervene. Maybe it's a situation where you feel wronged, or perhaps you're struggling with the consequences of your own actions. Whatever it is, bring it before God. He sees you, he knows your heart, and he is ready to bring justice. Take a moment to pray. Lord, I see the corruption in the world around me, and I see the darkness in my own heart, but I trust that you are with the righteous. I trust that you will bring justice, and I ask for your help to live according to your will. Give me the strength to stand firm in my faith, even in the midst of this broken world. David's cry continues with an urgent plea. Don't they know, all these evildoers, who devour my people as men eat bread, and do not call on the Lord? He is speaking of those who exploit others, those who live their lives in selfishness, taking advantage of the weak and vulnerable. The evil in the world is not only about personal sin, but also about systemic injustice, where the powerful prey on the powerless. We see this in our own world today, don't we? Whether it's the exploitation of workers, the oppression of the marginalized, or the abuse of power by those in authority. The corruption David speaks of is alive and well. It can be easy to grow bitter or discouraged as we witness the suffering of those who have no voice, or those who are taken advantage of by the powers that be. But David's words serve as a reminder that God sees it all, and that his justice will come. David acknowledges that these evildoers may seem to triumph for a time, but he doesn't leave us there. Et continues there they are, overwhelmed with dread, for God is present in the company of the righteous. This is a turning point in the psalm. David doesn't leave us in despair. He points us to the truth that God's presence is with the righteous. Despite the evil in the world, God is present, and he is a refuge for his people. Think about this for a moment. In the midst of all the evil in the world, God is present with his people. His presence is our refuge, our strength, and our hope. No matter how dark the world may seem, God is with us, and he will bring his justice in his perfect timing. David then declares, "You evildoers frustrate the plans of the poor, but the Lord is their refuge." The evil in the world may try to frustrate and harm the righteous, but ultimately, they will not succeed. God is our refuge. He is our protector. No matter how strong the enemy may seem, God is stronger. He is our shield and our deliverer, and he will not allow the wicked to triumph forever. Take a moment now to reflect on the areas of your life where you may feel like the enemy is winning. Maybe you're facing opposition, criticism, or struggles that feel insurmountable. Perhaps you feel like your efforts to do what is right are being thwarted, or that your prayers are going unanswered. In those moments, remember that God is with you. He is your refuge, and his justice will prevail. David's words remind us that even though we may face struggles, we are not alone. God sees us, he hears our cries, and he will bring his justice in his perfect time. We don't have to fight these battles on our own. God is our refuge, and he is faithful to protect us. As we reflect on this truth, take a moment to surrender your struggles to God. Ask him to be your refuge, to strengthen your faith, and to help you trust in his timing. No matter what you're facing, know that God is with you, and he will bring his justice. Pray with me. Lord, I see the injustice around me, and I feel the weight of the world pressing down. But I trust that you are with me. You are my refuge, my strength, and my protector. Help me to trust in your justice and your timing. Give me the strength to stand firm in my faith, knowing that you will never leave me. David ends this psalm with a powerful declaration of hope and expectation. After describing the overwhelming corruption in the world, the suffering of the righteous, and the promises of God's justice, he turns to a prayer for deliverance and salvation. Oh, that salvation for Israel would come out of Zion! When the Lord restores the fortunes of his people, let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. This is a call for the salvation of God to come. David is not just asking for justice to be done. He is asking for God to restore his people, to bring healing, to bring deliverance. The prayer is one of deep hope. Hope that God will intervene, that he will restore what has been broken, and that he will bring his people back to himself. This cry for salvation echoes through the ages. We, too, long for God's intervention in our world. We long for the day when justice will be done, when evil will be defeated, and when the righteous will be restored. But as we wait, we hold on to the truth that God is faithful, that he sees our struggles, and that he is bringing his salvation in his perfect timing. Think about your own life. What areas do you need God's salvation to touch today? Maybe you are facing personal struggles, or maybe you are watching the world around you suffer. Whatever it is, note that God promise restoration is real. He is working even when we don't see it, and he is faithful to bring about the healing and justice we long for. David ends his psalm with a declaration of joy. Let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. He rejoices not because the world is perfect, but because he trusts in God's faithfulness. Even in the midst of a broken world, David finds joy in knowing that God is in control, and that he will bring justice in the end. This is the key to our own joy, trusting in God's promises, even when we don't see the outcome. The world may be full of corruption and injustice, but we can take heart, knowing that God is at work. He will restore, he will redeem, and he will bring his salvation to his people. As we close today's time of prayer and reflection, let's declare with David that we trust in God's promises. No matter what we face, we can rejoice in his salvation. His justice is coming, and we will be glad. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for the hope we find in your promises. We trust that you will bring salvation and justice. We rejoice in your faithfulness, knowing that you are at work even when we can't see it. Help us to stand firm in our faith and to trust in your timing. We look forward to the day when you will restore all things and your justice will prevail.